this is it. The final review of Halloween X Chapter 2. And just like I promised you last year, on this very day, at maybe 1 or 2 in the morning, whenever I actually posted that video, I promised you guys I would look at this. But, look. You guys know that I love Scooby-Doo. You guys know how much it means to me. I'm one of those kids that grew up with this franchise, and it is a piece of childhood I hold very close to my heart. Especially the first Zombie Island. That movie was my gateway into horror itself. Without it, I wouldn't know about Freddy or Jason or Michael or even any of that. I wouldn't know about the Thing remake. I wouldn't know about the directors and their legacies. Pretty much without Zombie Island, I would not be even doing this at all. But that movie left such an impact on me growing up as a kid that I ended up going straight into horror after that. You know, of course I started with all the classics from that are actually kid-friendly, Nightmare Before Christmas, Coraline, Monster House, those kind of movies. And then, as I was getting into my teenage years, that's when I started getting into the actual horror stuff. And when I was horrified by excessive amounts of gore. Which I'm now desensitized to, having watched it so many times. But this is a movie that came out for Scooby's 50th anniversary. And I've been begging for a sequel to this movie for years. Not this movie, the original Zombie Island. I've been begging for a sequel to Zombie Island for years, and it looked like they were finally going to do it. The trailer looked okay. Obviously, it wasn't going to be able to go as dark as the original because there was more restrictions from Warner Brothers. But you know what? I was optimistic. I liked the trailer. I was excited to see it. Then the reviews started coming in, and that's when I got scared. And then I watched this for the first time a while after it came out, with the double feature, the other movie being Batman vs. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, if you really wanted to know. And that movie was awesome. It's the movie I started with. I love that movie. I think it's fantastic, and I definitely recommend watching that. So, I had my expectations set decently high. Not super high, but decently. So, I put it in. I watched it. And I was not the same person afterwards, let me tell you. I was straight up pissed after I finished. I felt like my time was wasted. I felt like I was completely taken advantage of. And I was angry. An anger that I have not felt since Dragon Ball Evolution. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. And since then, I've only soured on this movie more and more. I've watched it 3 times now. Literally just watched it again after Wendell and Wild. And I still hate this movie. There's not words to describe how much of an insult and a slap in the face this is to the original Zombie Island. Or the Scooby-Doo franchise in general. There are not words to describe the amount of bile and satanic anger this movie brings out of me every time I watch it. There is not words in the English dictionary to describe how much I hate this movie. It is undoubtedly the worst Scooby-Doo movie. It is, but I'd go even further. I'd go far to say it's one of the worst animated movies ever. It's one of the worst animated sequels ever, if not the absolute worst. It is one of my absolute least favorite films of all time. And the only reason it's not higher on my worst movies of all time is because Dragon Ball Evolution and Frozen exists. If those did not exist, this would be my worst movie of all time. No joke. So what does this movie get wrong besides everything? Well, everything. It gets everything wrong. You like all that adult stuff and all the ballsy directions they took in the original Zombie Island? Throw it away. Throw it away and make it retconned so it was never real in the first place. The zombies were caused by freaking swamp gas. And that instead of them actually being adults, young adults, looking for jobs, they were all still teenagers on an internship. Excuse me. You don't just retcon your film like that. Now look, I'm not 100% against retcons. I deal with them all the time in the horror genre with franchises like Friday and Halloween. I know. Sometimes you gotta retcon things to make it make sense. I understand that. But there's a good way to do it and there's a bad way to do it. And this is probably the worst way you could do it. Because the reason why Zombie Island works so well was because the monsters were real. There was real danger. And they really felt that there was a chance that the Mystery Inc. gang could die. But now you're just going to tell me it was all caused by hallucinations from swamp gas and that none of it was real and that all the adult stuff was just for show? Warner Brothers, how much crack were you smoking? Seriously. And if that wasn't bad enough, they had to go even further with abysmal writing, a stupid plot, no funny dialogue whatsoever. Kate Micucci's Velma at her absolute insufferable worst, and everyone acting like morons. Everyone. Not to mention, the new characters all suck. The only good thing in this piece of crap is the title sequence. It does a great job in very little time summing up the original Zombie Island for those who haven't seen it, whether because you were just born yesterday or you live under a rock. And it's beautifully animated, it has a nice style to it. That part, I loved that opening. That's why I set my expectations so high, because the opening was so good at recapping its previous installment, despite it being, 40 so years? I know it's not been exactly 50, but since the original Zombie Island, but I mean, if you set it up like that, deliver on it. And the only okay thing in here was Elvira, and she was just in the beginning to serve as nothing but a plot purpose. Look, I like Elvira. I have nothing against her. And I loved her in Happy Halloween Scooby-Doo, which is the movie that literally follows after this one. But my lord, everything about this thing is a mess. Whether you look at it critically or just as a Scooby-Doo fan, you're going to be left feeling pissed, insulted, and having your damn time wasted. It is an abomination of animation that should be purged and sent straight to the pits of hell where it belongs. And that's what I'm doing right now with this damn review. I'm trying my best not to curse so I can actually keep it on this channel. My lord, it is so hard not to start swearing out of anger trying to watch this piece of crap. And yes, I know this is one of those times I'm going into full spoilers. That's because it doesn't deserve to be watched by anyone. I am doing spoilers this time to save you your money. For literally anything else. It's not worth a rental, it's not worth a purchase, and certainly sure as hell is not worth a double pack purchase with the original Zombie Island, because it is nowhere near the same quality. In fact, there is no quality here whatsoever. It's just Warner Brothers cashing in on the fans and pissing off everyone else. It is a cash grab. And it is clear as day that Warner Brothers did not care. They connected it to Zombie Island to pull in the old fans and hope that they would be stupid enough to spend their money on it. Well, congrats. Because I'm sure there was a good bit of us in the Scooby-Doo fan base that were conned into buying this piece of filth. Oh, not me. No. I didn't spend money, thankfully, because I had one of those free apps that just let me watch it for free. Thus, I didn't give them a single penny of my money. Which is good, because if I did, I would be even more pissed than I was when I was done with the film itself. Seriously, guys, everything about this movie is a bastardization of everything you love about Scooby-Doo. And especially the original Zombie Island. This is a sequel that's so catastrophically awful that it actually manages the feat of making the original look worse. That is this movie's biggest sin. It takes one of the best animated films ever and manages to knock it off its pedestal just by its mere existence, completely freaking ruining it. I'm one of those people that's just tried to forget this even exists. But like I said, I promised you guys I would rip apart this piece of filth, and I am delivering on that promise so I never have to touch it or talk about it again. Outside of maybe another Scooby-Doo tier list, I don't know. But trust me when I say this movie's an abomination. Okay, what's this movie's plot exactly? Well, Scooby and Shaggy win a contest from Elvira, and it unknowingly sends them to Moonscar Island, or Zombie Island as it's dubbed now. And the normal things start happening. You see the zombies start to rise. There's teases of a cat creature. It doesn't seem too awful at first. Until you realize that the zombies are all fake. It is all for the sake of a movie, and the cat creature is never explained. Oh no, but they do go out of their way at the very end of the movie to completely retcon the original Zombie Island and make it seem just as bad as this movie. It's nowhere near that bad. It's nowhere near this bad, because you know why? They put in effort. The original Zombie Island, they put in effort to make it as adult and scary as they could possibly get away with. This movie is safe, sanitized, and completely just thrown out. You should just thrown out all the plans for a sequel if this is what you had to show for it, Warner Brothers. I give you guys a lot of crap, but I try to give you the benefit of the doubt, because you have made great things. You have done good things. But lately, especially since the 2010s, you have been doing nothing but constantly screwing up whatever little reputation with me you have left. I'm seriously, I would rather watch Mortal Kombat Legends 2 than this crap. This is a movie that not even the great Matthew Lillard can save. But man, does he try. You can tell that Matthew is still trying his best to make this somewhat believable. And I do like that they made Shaggy and Scooby the focus. That was one of the reasons why I love Legend of the Phantasaur so much. Because they made Shaggy the focus instead of just a side character. But it's not worth the headache and frustration that I have to sit through with this movie. I'm sorry, Matthew, but not even you can save this pile of crap. Trust me, guys, you don't watch this movie. Don't even rent it. And this is an order from me, and possibly the rest of the Scooby-Doo fan base, unless some of you are just delusional and actually call this movie decent or good. If you dare call this good, you're not a Scooby-Doo fan. You are just a sheep preaching to a choir that isn't even there. This is a message from me and the rest of the true Scooby-Doo fans, the real Scooby-Doo fans. Destroy every copy of this pile of filth that you see on site. I am dead serious. Find every copy of this piece of trash that you can and burn it. Send it to the fires of hell where it belongs. I shouldn't have to give you a final verdict, but this is a review, so I guess I have to anyway. My final verdict for Scooby-Doo, the cash grab piece of garbage, is a 0 out of 10. A 0 out of 10. Actually, no, that's too nice. Negative 9,000 out of 10. It is one of the worst piles of crap I have ever sat through. And I hope and pray that no one else has to go through it. It is a piece of filth that needs to burn in hell for all eternity, along with the stupid, brainless execs at Warner Brothers who greenlit it, who actually let it go through despite all these problems. When you make this movie for the 50th anniversary of your damn franchise, when you make this movie as a long-awaited and highly requested sequel to a movie that is highly praised to this very day by not just Scooby-Doo fans, but even critics, you need to meet their expectations. And more importantly, you need to actually try. You can't just put a name like Zombie Island on your box and just treat it like another throwaway, cash grab pile of trash. Guys, I try to be positive on this channel. I really do. But there are some things that I just can't be positive on, and this is one of them. Screw this piece of filth. And I hope whatever executives that greenlit it at Warner Brothers, I hope they were fired and castrated. And that's it. Happy Halloween! No, I'm just miserable. But good news is I don't have to talk about this piece of filth ever again. So, thank you guys for watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and I hope you guys have a happy Halloween. I'm gonna go watch something cheerful now, so I don't feel so miserable. Because I still have more reviews to do on the other channel, but thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Happy Halloween. Goodbye.